Hi, I'm Nicolette and welcome back to my channel. I'm going to be talking about the essential tools for beginner violinists today. I wanted to go over this because I find a lot of students don't know what they're going to need when they first start learning how to play, when they first start inquiring about lessons. And some students even go out and buy things that they do not need. So if this sounds like you, stick around. We're going to talk about the essential tools for learning to play the violin. The first thing that you're going to need is obviously the instrument: violin, bow, and case. The reason why I lump these all together into one item is because they usually come as a set. The way that we go about sourcing your instrument might not be the most clear-cut thing. There are so many available options online, especially the most affordable ones, and they just seem like too sweet a deal to pass up. When you're looking at an instrument in a shop and it costs $1,000 or upwards of $500, and you're looking at the instrument on Amazon and it says $150, I mean, a lot of people are going to make the choice for the cheaper option, especially if we don't know if we're going to stick to this instrument. I really stress to my students when they come to me and ask me where to find their instrument, not to buy their instrument online unless they absolutely have to. This past year in quarantine, it's been pretty hard for people to go to their local shops and make an appointment and do a trial run of instruments in their price range. That's to be expected. And if that's the situation, there are lots of options we can take. But by and large, the biggest advice I have for this is don't go out and just buy the first item that you see that's medium rated on Amazon. The number 2 item on the list is rosin. This also sometimes comes in the kit if you were to order your instrument online or from a local shop. Sometimes they will include a block of rosin in the case. But sometimes the one that comes with the instrument is not the nicest quality. Look into some of the other options for rosin if the one that came with the case, especially if you get yours at a garage sale or a pawn shop or something like that. They get old and cracked and dry. Get a rosin from an online shop. They don't have to be expensive, and the quality is a lot better. The number 3 item on the list is a shoulder rest. A shoulder rest is essentially a cushion that attaches to the bottom of the violin to provide you a little bit more support and a little bit more comfort while you're playing the violin in playing position. This one is something that you probably almost definitely will have to buy separately if you want something that's going to be extra comfortable and suitable for your body shape. So the ones that come with an Amazon kit, and I will make sure to show you in the description below, come with a very, very cheap and very uncomfortable shoulder rest. A lot of my students have ordered these in the past and they're really disappointed with the quality of this particular item in the kit. Get yourself one of the nicer recommended shoulder rests. I guarantee you it's going to improve your process a lot. So number 4 is a tuner. One of the biggest things you're going to notice about your violin from the very beginning is, especially if it's new, it's going to go out of tune pretty regularly. So you're going to need to tune your violin quite a bit. Tuners come in a lot of different forms: tuning forks, handheld tuners, clip-on tuners, but you can also just use an app version of a tuner. It will have a lot of the same utility as a mechanical tuner. Of course, you're relying on your microphone or your speaker in order to tune your instrument from an app. So something to consider if you're really, really looking to get precise, perhaps a mechanical tuner is a better choice. But otherwise, and especially if you're just starting out, I think an app tuner is the way to go because it's free, it's easy, and it's always there if you have your phone with you. Number 5 is a metronome. As a teacher, really encourage my students to use metronomes in their practice from the very, very beginning. Metronomes, just like tuners, are available in app forms, and there are a lot of free versions out there. It doesn't cost anything, so go for it. The next items are maybe not quite essential, true to the word essential, because they could theoretically be more personal. But I think that within the first 6 months of playing the violin, you're gonna wanna have some of these. So take a look at these and let me know what you think in the comments. So number 6 is fingering tape. All right, I have opinions about fingering tape as a teacher, but they come with a lot of violins for beginners, and especially if the student in question is maybe not you, but your child and they're really little, but a fingering tape can really be helpful for setting the left hand and making sure that the technique is right from the beginning. Fingering tapes are basically stickers that you can put on your fingerboard that will give you a clear place to put your fingers down so that you know you're playing in tune. What this does is basically make it so that you don't really have to listen. You can just look at your finger placement and make sure that your fingers are touching the lines, and then you don't really have to verify that with your ear. So I don't always recommend these for adult students because I think if you don't use fingering tape, you are challenging yourself to use your ear for verification more. Number 7 on this list is a pinky house. The pinky house is something that a lot of teachers use to train your right hand pinky to sit perfectly on top of the bow so that you can set and keep a good bow grip on the violin. This is a really great tool, and you can actually make one out of electrical tape or duct tape sometimes. There are a lot of videos out there for how to build one, but you can also buy one on Amazon. They are pretty cheap. Pinkies tend to be really weak in the beginning. We don't have a lot of strength in our pinkies naturally, so we have to build up to that. Just like anything else that we're using to train our fingers, I want to make sure that all of my students know that these are training wheels, basically. These are things that we want to use for a little while, but always be checking in and testing our strength, taking them off a little earlier rather than later, because we don't want to become completely reliant on them. Number 8 is backup strings. I should have probably put this earlier on in the list. When you get a new violin, you have one set of strings. If a string breaks, you're gonna have to order another set of strings, and you won't be able to play your instrument until you receive those in the mail. It's always a good protocol to have a backup set of strings, just so that you can switch out a single string if you need to, if one breaks. Number 9 on this list is a Chinrest cushion. So I've had a lot of students in my time as a teacher complain about the discomfort of the Chinrest, and there are a lot of things out there that will actually just cover up the edge of the Chinrest. Yeah, they can be kind of uncomfortable. There are a lot of Chinrests out there that are customizable or have slightly different sloped angles, but it's not uncommon for people to feel like the one that came attached to their instrument in the beginning was just not comfortable. So look into a Chinrest cushion, or you could upgrade to a completely different Chinrest. Okay, we've reached the last one on this list, number 10. Number 10 is a tuner tailpiece. A tuner tailpiece is a tailpiece that has fine tuners already built into it. In the very beginning, you're still learning how to use the pegs, and to get really precise with the pegs is kind of tricky. So we want to use a tuner tailpiece, have a fine tuner on each of the strings on the tailpiece. If your violin doesn't come with this, you might want to take it to a shop to get this done. I think it's worth it if your violin does not come with a fine tuner tailpiece. All right, that's the end of this list. I have a free PDF that you can download with all of my recommendations for each of these items, and it's linked in the description below. Like and subscribe to my channel for more beginner tips for violin. I will see you in the next video.